Chamber music is an art form that is the most intimate and the most passionate.
It can be done every week in a different venue, in a salon, in a living room, in a small hall. I mean, it's really a way for classical music to spread its wonderful values.
Elliott Forrest here from WQXR with another artist check-in, and today checking in with David Finckel and Wu Han, celebrating 50 years of the Chamber Music Society of Lincoln Center. Great to see you both.
Same here. We were so excited to be invited. Elliott, we went all the way back for so many years with working in the arts, and as well as you are our announcer for our radio program on WQXR.
Yes, well, and around the country. I think we're on
exactly
200 radio stations around the country with the radio version of Chamber Music Society. It's really exciting that Chamber Music Society of Lincoln Center has been around for 50 years. I want to talk about the present. I also want to talk about this big event you have on September 10th. It's going to be online, and QXR is going to be celebrating that as well. But take me back first. I mean, it's so great to see Charles Wadsworth at your concerts every once in a while when we had them. He started this 50 years ago, right?
It was back in 1969 when the legendary Miss Tolley and Bill Schumann, the president of Juilliard School, and Charles Wadsworth was our first music director. And Miss Tolley decided that Lincoln Center, as a leading arts organization, needs to have chamber music. And she decided we have to have a concert hall that is dedicated to presenting chamber music and presenting the highest quality of chamber music. And she also, from being a musician herself, she's a wonderful singer, know the repertoire in chamber music are huge, much more than everybody thinks it's, in the most shallow way, it's the string quartet chamber music or, some duo and trio, but the repertoire actually is much larger than that. So Miss Tolley decided that we should have Chamber Music Society of Lincoln Center. And 50 years ago, chamber music was not as popular, but I have happy news to report. Before we had this crazy pandemic hitting us, we were in a good 10 years of subscription increase, audience increase trend. And this year we have sold more tickets than ever. And because of the 50th anniversary celebration, also because everybody are so excited about the programming and everything. So anyway, we will have a documentary on September 10th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we want to invite everybody to join in to watch this extraordinary documentary. You will understand Chamber Music Society more. You will understand our philosophy behind it more. And you will also join a whole group of most enthusiastic chamber music lovers to celebrate this very important landmark.
There's so much to celebrate with 50 years, and also it shouldn't go without saying that you guys have been co-artistic directors for how many years of that?
Since 2004.
Right. So you've really transformed it, and as you said, I think historically it started off as primarily string quartets, but vocal music, percussionists, bringing in brass players. The idea not only is the music diversified, but really it's about a community, isn't it? It's about really a collection of a group of people that get together that really is not only just about friendship, but about that music making that a community can make. Speak to that.
Well, I think if you ask me what's the most important element of the Chamber Society today, besides the repertoire itself, of course, it's this kind of family structure of our artists and who they are. And we're so proud to have just multiple generations of players on stage as equals literally all the time. We also have musicians from over 18 different countries now coming to New York and playing with us, somewhat regularly. And we're very proud of that extreme diversification of age, and ethnicity and culture that all of these people bring the highest level of chamber musicianship, to the table. And the chemistry that results from that is probably the thing that I'm the most proud of, to be able to step back and look at these casts and these performances, always, newly imagined interpretations, and say, wow, if it wasn't for the Chamber Music Society, this performance wouldn't happen. These people might not even know each other or get to play with each other. So for Wu Han and me, that's something that makes us intensely proud, and very, of course, fortunate to be where we are.
Wu Han, in the documentary, you say your job is that of arranging blind dates, which I loved, because it's what David was speaking to. It's like putting these people together, and and I'm guessing, I mean, look, as the host of the radio program, I know sometimes these people play together all the time, but sometimes they don't, right? It is a bit of an arranged marriage sometimes.
Yes, well, except, the one thing in Chamber Music Society's history, which is interesting, is all of the artistic directors are all players. We all have to get on stage and play and demonstrate. It's the first line in my contract. You have to demonstrate the highest artistic standard. Boy, does that make me go practice, I tell you. But because we're players, we actually know all our colleagues. We know their strong point, weak point. We know their personality. And that's what we try to do as
the other part of that that's kind of parental in a very satisfying way is for us to be able to look at some players, especially the younger ones, and say, they're fantastic, but wouldn't it be great for them to play Mozart next to so-and-so who has been doing it for many more years and whatever, and what we know how wonderful that would be, how they would grow from this experience. So we can, judiciously create these sort of artist recipes of groups that not only enjoy playing with each other, but also grow as individuals because of it, because of the way they're grouped. So, of course, you have to know the players really well. It is a little bit sometimes like an arranged marriage, as Juan said, but it's not as consequential, because if the relationship doesn't work out, it only has to last for one concert.
Right.
You don't have to go to court to undo it.
Right.
So it's not as dire as a marriage, and it's not quite a blind date, because you have the two of us looking at people beforehand and doing matchmaking. So it's better than a dating service, and it's better than an arranged marriage.
So the 10th, 7 o'clock, hosted by Annette Bening, which is very exciting in this beautiful documentary. We're all trying to make this work in this bizarre time period where your lives too just shut down, and you were on tour and so many activities in the Chamber Music Society, but you've got some innovative things going on that I really admire. Is that you would have been on tour, and Chamber Music Society itself would have been on tour, and instead you're offering presenters some content, which I think is really unusual. Talk about that.
Yes, I actually is about to go into a webinar with, I think, 55 presenters from different area of the United States. I think this pandemic has taught us or pushed us to use these new format to rebuild our community or to re-engage our community, which is a complete new skill and a new mindset. When we recover from the shock on March 15th, on March 14th, we played our last concert in West Palm Beach. And when we came home, the shocking idea of that we might be at home for a long time, it's so daunting. Thank God we recovered very quickly. And thank God Chamber Music Society has these amazing digital captures from the last 10 years. We have over 1,000 pieces that captured
Wow.
with the greatest performance, with HD camera and everything. And we started to do the programming, and we realized what we have is so unusual. It's in such high quality. The video was captured not only with a camera, also with score readers, with a plan. It's a real production. It's recorded in the highest format. So we realized, even with Chamber Music Society at Lincoln Center, we are learning all these new skills, and we are learning how to engage and re-engage and open up your community. And we thought we got to share this. We can't just do this on our own benefit. We know everybody else is suffering. We already foresee a lot of people will be facing cancellation. So we got ahead of the curve and offer our product with a special designed program with a messaging from two of us say, please support your local presenter that brings you the culture program. The idea is really sharing our content and also help everybody to keep arts thrive in no matter the size of the community or no matter the size of the audience, because we need music more than ever during this time. And when we return, we want all of the organization continue to be strong and continue to be healthy. And if we don't do it, if as an artist we don't do it, I don't want to even think about the consequence. I don't even want to admit that might be a chance of going there. I'm going to try our best to keep the artistic community together. And
I don't know any musicians who are doing nothing. Everybody that I know is doing, what they can come up with. Even if the only thing they have is a cell phone, they're trying to use it to stay in touch with listeners, with people who love music. And I think we all feel a kind of an obligation to do that. We feel obligated to the art form itself, to continue to serve it somehow. That is our mission of the Chamber Society, is to serve the art of chamber music. And so when Wu Han and I look at what we can do with the resources that we have there, the digital resources, the structure, the staff, and whatever, the two of us, we had no choice. We've been working as hard as we've ever worked. We've hardly played a single concert, and yet we're 7 days a week.
50 years of the Chamber Music Society of Lincoln Center. Artistic directors, co-artistic directors, David Finckel and Wu Han. September 10th, 7 o'clock on the Chamber Music Society website. A virtual event happening, including a documentary about the history and the present and the future of this great organization. Always great to see you. Thank you for joining me.
Yeah, thank you for checking in on us.
thank you, Elliott.
Very much appreciate it.
Stay safe and stay well.
You too. Be well.